Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday to you. Today, our gospel is the story of the parable of the workers in the vineyard. And the master who goes out to find workers for his vineyard at the beginning of the day, at the middle of the day, and at the end of the day. And they all get paid the same amount. And I think we could call this like the great American parable. Ironically so, because it is so against any American ideal of ours that we should get paid for the amount of work that we've done. And if someone else gets paid the daily wage at the end of the day, then it would make sense that those at the beginning of the day receive more. And that's exactly what they ask for and what they're grumbling against the master about. But there is something more going on here. Jesus says at the beginning of the parable, he says that the kingdom of heaven could be likened to the vineyard. This vineyard that he tells the whole parable about. So this is the kingdom of heaven, not the kingdom of earth, not where we have our justice system and our reason here, but this is the reason of God, not of man. So the early workers don't get any greater reward than the later workers, but what they actually receive is more chastisement from the master. The reason being is, as the early workers, the one advantage they should have over the later workers is that they should know the kindness and mercy of the master. They've been with him for a longer period of time. They should know that this is the way that he functions, the way that his attitude is toward everyone, that he's always willing to give. Because the wage of working in the kingdom of heaven is not something that can be monetized or something that can be given more of or less of. The wage of the kingdom is salvation. It is eternal life. And that is what they all are working for. So they should be happy to see people coming in right at the end of the day, right at the end of their lives, because they are going to get the wage of salvation. And they should be more like the master, who is merciful, who is kind, and who wants to give everyone that same wage. So I think for us today, there are two takeaways. First, for those of us who might feel like we are the early workers who have been really digging into their faith for a long time, perhaps all of your life you've been very faithful. Humility is always going to be the utmost importance for us, that we don't believe that we deserve any more than someone else. Humility, humility, humility. The second thing is that no one is beyond saving, and there is never a time that is too late for that to happen. So there's always hope for, especially those in our lives who we might be struggling with, that we hope that they will be saved one day. Always keep hope for that, because the master is always calling people to work in his vineyard, and he is always calling to give them the great reward of eternal life. God bless you.